Hey guys, how are you today? So we're outside. You see my mom's little plant. It's supposed to be a tomato plant. But anyways, I'm gonna get right into it. As y'all can see on the comment or on the title, it say I have the Usher. So I'm sure a lot of you guys been asking, like, wondering when I was going to say something about it. I never really talk about stuff when it's in the heat of the moment. I've just never been that type of person. I don't go see a movie when everybody else go see it. I just never been like that. But I think everything is kind of quiet now, so it's a great time to talk about it so we can really have some real dialogue and we're not arguing, bickering each other. I am very open to comments. I'm very open to you guys saying how you feel about it, because at the end of the day, a lot of people are kind of just uproar about this whole Usher thing. As we know, as they have alleged that he does not have herpes, and that a lot of the ladies have told lies. And I'm not sure if that lady did receive that money, but at the end of the day, the whole thing was the fact that Usher had herpes and he passed it on to a woman. So, and he paid her. So let's go into this. So a lot of y'all are probably thinking like, okay, he has herpes. Let me tell y'all what herpes is. Let me let's go over things again. Okay, herpes is STD or STI, if you want to say, that is transmitted through sexual activity, which can be when one that is not fully sexual activity is kissing, and you can do kissing with oral sex, penetration, and anal sex. Okay, that is how it's transmitted into your mouth and transmitted into your genital or anal areas. Okay, it can go to other areas, guys. You know, inner thighs, on your buttocks, things of that nature. Okay, it's possible for them to be passed there as well. Okay. So, number one, we know what herpes is. It is passed through skin-to-skin contact. And I'm not talking about, oh my gosh, she has herpes and she touched me and I get it. No, that's not the case. It is passed on when that person is having an outbreak, which that outbreak can be they are physically having an outbreak, which you can see a blister, or they're just having the symptoms, or they're shedding, which shedding is when the person has an outbreak and they don't have any symptoms. They don't know itching, no burning, no blisters, no nothing. They don't know it's there. Okay, and you can pass that way, and you have sexual contact with that person where they have their outbreak at. So now I'm not saying you're shaking in their hand, you're going to automatically get it. No, you have to kiss that person, and that's where they have to have their outbreaks. You got to have sex with that person. That person got to be having it in their genital area. That's where they're having their outbreaks at, okay? A lot of people get a little confused about their thinking, oh my God, you know, I'm going to pass it to the whole world just because I have type 1 or I have type 2. Okay, no, that's not the case. A lot of y'all have to understand type 1 and type 2 can be in your mouth and your genital area. A lot of people thinking like, well, I have type 2. Well, that means I have to have it in my genital area, but I never had an outbreak, you know? But that's not completely true. If you had sex with somebody who had genital and you perform oral sex on them, boom, that's what happened. Where are you going, sweetie? You're going to sit down? Okay, so with that being said, that can happen in oral as well. If you're having oral sex, somebody who have it in their mouth, which is oral, which could be type 1 or type 2, have type 1, go and have oral sex with you, or perform oral sex with you, then boom, you get into your genital area. So a lot of people get confused when they go get tested and they're thinking like, oh my God, like how did I have type 1 but I don't have it on my mouth? Or how did I get type 2 but I don't have it in my genital area? That is a big confusion with that type 1, type 2, and that's a main reason why a lot of doctors don't like to tell us anymore what type we have, because at the end of the day, type 1, type 2 can be anywhere. Before, when they first doing the research, you going that way? Okay, the research. Okay, in a minute, sweetie. So, we're outside. He wants me to teach him how to ride the big bike without training wheels. So we're going to do that after we're off here. So, at the end of the day, that's the big confusion. And like I said, back in the day, you know, just a couple of years ago, even when I found out, they were kind of just over the whole situation, which was like 8 years ago. They were really over telling us what type, because they knew both types can go anywhere. So I want y'all to kind of kill that whole thing of, oh, I have type 1, it's no big deal to a certain extent. No, it's a big deal, because you can pass it to your partner's genital areas. And to be completely honest, nobody's using protection for oral sex. Nobody's thinking about it when you're kissing people. You know, most people don't even know cold sores or fever blisters or herpes. So with that being said, you know, if you have type 1, please do not take it as lightly, as many people may say. I know people who have type 1. They're like, oh, it's no big deal. Yeah, it is a big deal, because you're not paying attention, and you can pass it to somebody's genital area, and now this person is freaking out and want to, like, really, they're very, very upset with you. So my whole thing, if you have herpes, just please take it. Can, please be serious about it and make sure you're aware of your body, aware of how to protect yourself, and aware of how to protect your partner. Okay. So the next thing is, here we're gonna go into this thing. Okay, so herpes. Usher had herpes, quote unquote. Okay, I'm not gonna say this man do it. I don't know. At the end of the day, quote unquote, this man had herpes. He had sex with a young lady and he passed it to her. Okay, the story just sounds jinky. Just being honest, like the story was jinky. It seemed like she already knew he had something and she just want to have sex with him because he was Usher. But at the end of the day, people make stuff up. People add stuff to things. So my whole thing is, I'm not gonna go really into the detail of that. But let's talk about, how did she get paid all this money? Like, how did she get that money? I wish I got this money for getting herpes. Okay, I'm just being personally honest. I wish I had got it from a celebrity and I could just tell him to give me some money. It sounds funny, but I'm telling the truth. But at the end of the day, the way that she ended up getting this money is, number one, Usher already knew he had herpes. He had to already have herpes, and the way he knew, it was in his health documents. Okay, so that means it had to be documented already by his doctor that he already had herpes before he met this young lady. And this young lady, through her documents, stated that she did not have herpes before she met him. Okay, that's one of the main ways that's the only way that you can really sue a person, is this person know for sure that they knew before you, which is documented, by the doctor, and then documented by you that you knew you did not have anything. It's no way for you to say, I want to sue someone because, oh my God, I believe he gave me herpes. Oh my God, I know for a fact she gave me herpes. Well, have you ever been tested for herpes? Probably not. Most people don't. I talked to thousands of people. I have talked to over 1,000 plus people, and most of them didn't ever got tested for herpes. There's only a couple of ladies I have talked to, or guys who talked to, who was aware of that, but they were only getting tested for type 2, and not type 1. So with that being said, guys, we got to also be very considerate, is that if you're even thinking about suing somebody, number one, you better know for God darn sure your status. Don't be jumping off talking about, oh, they gave it to me, but you don't know your status. You can't be suing nobody not knowing your status in the last 2-3 years. My whole thing, you got to know your status. Or even in that recent year, you got to know your status before you saying you want to sue a dude or a girl for giving you herpes. It's no way you can sue without having documentation stating that you did not have it before you met them. So with that being said, the only way she was able to sue Usher is because it was stated that she did not have it before she met him, and that he had it way before he met her. Okay, that's the only reason that she got paid that money. Okay, and I want to stress this because I talk to people all the time who say, I want to sue, I think he did it to me on purpose, and blah, 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 blah. My whole thing is, make sure you are on your P's and Q's with your test results. Because if it's not in your test result, that means take some time, pull out your test results, which y'all know now is all online. Go onto your documents and see if you've been tested. Because if you haven't been tested, you can't say he gave it to you. You could have been had it and messed around and gave it to him. Maybe it sounds mean, sounds scary, but that could have been the case. And you're thinking it's him and it was really with you. So with that being said, guys, be very careful before you saying the sue word before you even know your full document, knowing your own status, or even knowing that if you even knew anything about herpes before you got here, or if you was even getting tested. Because you just saying, oh, test me for everything is nothing. Like, test for everything, I'm going to tell y'all, test for everything is nothing but HIV, gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, and probably Hep C. She said, amen, you better preach this truth. Teach us, educate us, help us. Yes, lady. Yes, 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 love. So with that being said, it's very important that those are just only the main things that they test for. And you got to be careful because sometimes they won't even test for HIV if you don't ask for it in certain states. Here in Atlanta, I am in the capital of this thing right about now. So with that being said, it is just mandatory. I went to go get my knee checked because I busted my knee last year around September. And they said, hey, do you want to get an HIV test? So what my knee got to do with HIV? I took it anyway. It's nothing ever wrong with taking an HIV test in a relationship, out of relationship. Always get tested, guys. You just never know. Things can change in your body like that. So it's very important that you make sure you, sorry, got lipstick on my finger. You got to make sure that you know your own status and not be so determined or so worried or so trusting about somebody else keeping you safe. Because at the end of the day, guys, I'm going to be completely honest. People do not know their status half of the time. Half of us don't even, including me, I've been there, do not ask enough questions, okay? Or we just have, if a person say, hey, I'm good, you're like, oh, we good, let's have sex. That's not good. You need to get tested. I have talked to many ladies, even on my side of the fence, who have herpes now, who end up having sex with a partner. They decide they want to go get tested later and find out they had herpes. She had herpes and he had something. Or he had herpes and she had something else. So my whole thing is, guys, please do not take lightly going and get tested. My whole thing, and y'all know I stress, it's very important to get tested after every partner. Every partner, guys. It's just very, I don't care how many people you have. Say that between you and you. We are all grown who on this page. We are all grown. That whole shit, that tot shit, who cares about all that? My whole thing is you're grown. You make your own decisions. So I said, since you're grown, be safe with your grown butt. Okay, just be safe. So with that being said, make sure you're getting tested, guys. Okay, especially if you're using condoms, but you're not, if you're using condoms, but you're doing oral sex without any denim dam, you still need to get tested. I want to stress that too. If you're kissing somebody, still go get tested. It can be syphilis in the mouth, gonorrhea in the mouth, chlamydia in the mouth. All of that stuff could be in a person's mouth, guys. So stop thinking like, oh, I just kissed her, man. She just sucked my thing, man. Oh, I just got a little head. It wasn't that serious. Yeah, it is, because you can still get something, okay? And they're really getting to a point where this, the gonorrhea is about to get real hard to get rid of very, very soon. And to be completely honest with you guys, gonorrhea and chlamydia are no joke. Like, they're no joke. As much as y'all say, oh, I can get rid of it, blah, blah, blah. I can take a pill, I can take a shot. But if most of the time, most people don't even know they have those two things. And it can go undetected for a long time. And most people who have gonorrhea, chlamydia, a lot of yeast infections, bacteria, vaginosis, end up finding out they have herpes at the same time, because those viruses are covering up the fact that they have herpes, because a lot of the symptoms are very, very similar. So with that being said, guys, I wanted to stress the importance of to you guys, stating that the main reason that Usher gave this woman some money, quote unquote, of him having herpes is because he already knew and she did not have it. Hey, love, and she did not. That's the only reason. So don't think, and I stress this, don't think you about to go get some money, you know, and you didn't know if you had it before. No, you ain't gonna get nothing. Number one, you got to find a lawyer who's gonna take your case. If you have herpes, your body's always hot. Not really. Do you have a fever? That's not always the case. My whole thing is, I'm happy you asked that question, because at the end of the day, I want you guys to realize everything is not herpes. Everything is not herpes. Let me tell y'all the herpes symptoms. When you first find out you have herpes, your main symptom is, number one, you will have body chills. This is your first time, okay? You have body chills. You will have a fever. You'll feel like you have the flu. Like, you know how if you never had the flu, you feel like in chills, you're hot, you're cold, you're all of that. You can have itching, you can have burning, you can have blisters. No, the blisters doesn't have to be all nasty or whatever, goopy. It does not have to be a blister. It can be looking like a hair bump. I know a lot of guys now, everybody kind of shave now, you know, just to be, you know, a little bit more cleaner. So with that being said, you got to understand that it can look like a hair bump. It can look like a little paper cut, or a little cut like, oh my God, you know, my underwear on rubbed against me, or I'm scratching myself too hard or something like that. Yes, it can be very painful for some people, but not painful for everybody. So I don't want y'all to say that on top of that. I'm going to add that to it. But those are the symptoms that you will have in the beginning, and the aching of the body. Now, after you go through your initial, after that, then you can still have, it's not the same. I don't want y'all to think, oh, I get herpes, it's going to be like everybody else. No, it's not. Some people, they have it and it's not even painful. Some people, they don't even have outbreaks, or they have it and it's so mild that they don't even realize they're having it. So you can still have the itching, the burning. You can still have the blisters, the cuts, bumps, or whatever you may have. Some people still have a lot of aching in their body. I tell people it's on the nerve ending, so it flares. Boom. It caused that. So if y'all heard about shingles, shingles is herpes, and y'all heard how shingles is very, very painful, it's because it's in the nerve endings. Correct. Different symptoms for different people. So my whole thing is, I said all these symptoms, but it can be different for each person. Like, I speak for myself. Like me, when I do have outbreaks, it's itching, burning, and I may have like one little blister. Okay, that's the case. Or sometimes it's just really itching and burning, and I can catch it before it gets really, really bad. Some people, they go through a full blown, all out itching, burning, blisters everywhere. Some people are just itching and burning. Some people are just itching. Some people are just burning. Is it true that women are supposed to keep that area dry? If so, why? Yeah. My whole thing is, even for men, you need to keep it dry because you can get a yeast infection. My whole thing is, our bodies are so sensitive. Our genitals are so sensitive. They have their own pH balance, especially for women. Okay, we got our own pH balance. And sweating and all that stuff creates yeast. So with that being said, then she can get a yeast infection or bacterial vaginosis. Because bacterial vaginosis is just not having sex. You can get it from pH is off. Can you have oral sex? Yes, you can have oral sex, but you have to be careful. My whole thing is, if you have type 1, you got to make sure you're not having any outbreaks, and your partner, if he's a guy, I'm not sure if you was guy or girl. I'm sorry, I didn't really catch the name. So if it's a guy, then he can use a condom. Okay, I know y'all be like, oh, okay, but you still got to protect your partner, or you and your partner agree upon him taking the risk, okay? And if it's a female and he's performing oral sex on you, my whole thing is same. Make sure he's not having an outbreak, whatever, and also you can use dental dam, okay? Or y'all can agree upon, you're going to take the risk. That's completely up to you. I didn't read that last message. I didn't see it. What did it say? Can y'all... hold on one second. So the fluids can't cause an outbreak. No. That's not the reason why you have outbreaks. That's not the reason why you have outbreaks. You have an outbreak because it got triggered. Herpes is triggered based off of so many things. Let me tell you what triggers your outbreaks. Number one is stress. Okay, stress triggers outbreaks. Menstrual cycle for women trigger outbreaks. Certain foods, so like chocolate, junk food, certain things for different people. Some people say tomatoes, some people say other things can break them out, but most importantly, like chocolate, alcohol, junk food, things like that. Like foods that's really, really high in acids. And then the next thing is sex. The friction from sex can break the skin and cause it. That's not guaranteed. That's not for everybody. I'm just telling you what can be a trigger for some people, because some people can't eat chocolate. It will trigger it off. Some people can't drink a lot of alcohol. It'll trigger it off. Some people can't eat a lot of junk food. It'll trigger it off. So it's very important to know your trigger. So just fluids. You're going to have natural fluids. Everybody, as women, we have discharge regardless. Like, it comes with it, So that's not going to be the main reason it's being triggered, okay? I don't want you to think that. But that's the main things that triggers stress, certain foods, menstrual cycle for women, and also friction from sex, okay? Those are your main triggers. So it's very important if you're having herpes, or you have herpes, or you know someone who have herpes, or you're kind of scared, like, if I get it, what can I do? What will cause it is those things. You have to learn those things. It takes you time to learn what is your trigger. For me, my trigger is a high stress, which I don't stress like that. I just take it to Jesus and I cry it out. And I pray about it. That's just me. Or I vent about it to my friends or whatever, just kind of release it off myself and kind of like free myself from it. And then like if I'm having sex and it's not enough lubricant at all, then at the end of the day, it can cause that breaking of the skin and cause me to have an outbreak. Can herpes cause intensive? Yes. Very much. Yes. Okay, and if you want to do something about that itching, use tea tree oil. Not saying that you have it or not, but tea tree oil and coconut oil, it is a lifesaver. Some people put AD ointment on it. The AD ointment that you use for babies if they get a diaper rash. You can put that on it as well. And the tea tree oil and coconut oil you can get from Walmart. You don't have to have no special brand. I don't want you to think you got to spend like thousands of dollars. It's really cheap. You'll pay like $7 for both of those, and it'll last you a good bit. Anybody got any more questions? I see y'all want to ask questions. I'm all down for questions, okay? Yeah, but that's the main reason I want y'all to understand. It's like, that's the reason why. If you want to talk to me personally, you can send me a personal email, overcomingthestigma@gmail.com. Or you can go ahead, if you want to talk to me over the phone, or if you're in another country, video chat. I'm sorry, you have an overcoming session with me. That's 45 minutes for $35. If you are a student, I am so cool with my college students because I know we be tight. Hold on one second. I'm going to get to y'all after I answer his question. So with that being said, it'll be $15 for 30 minutes for my college students, and you have to have a college email for you to get that, and you got to apply with that. But like I said, if you just want to ask a basic question, overcomingthestigma@gmail.com. If you really got an extensive question, that you got multiple questions and you need me to go in detail, and you just really need to talk to somebody, then I will strongly suggest you do a session with me, overcoming section. Okay? So, my next question is 1 second, y'all. So, can herpes cause BV? It can knock your pH off, so yeah, you can cause it. It's not a cause. I won't say herpes causes BV, because BV is because your pH is off. Simple as that. So, I won't say herpes causes BV. I could say multiple things cause a BV. It's just, BV is nothing but your pH balance is off. So I won't say that. I won't guarantee that. But I can tell you it's because your pH is off. And anything can cause your pH off. So how you're eating, what type of underwear you're wearing, if you're drinking enough water, if you're cleaning yourself right. So many things could cause that, okay? What if you don't have any symptoms? If you don't have any symptoms, you don't have any symptoms. So my whole thing, explain to me what you mean. What if you don't have any symptoms? Okay, I'll go a little bit more into, if you don't have any symptoms, that doesn't mean you cannot pass it on. You can still pass it on, because we have the shedding. The shedding is when you have the virus is active at the surface and you don't know it, and you can still pass it to your partner. That is not 100%. So just because you're shedding doesn't mean, just because you have herpes don't mean you're shedding all the time, and don't mean because you have herpes you're not shedding sometimes. That's kind of hard to explain. Is because they don't really go into detail what shedding is. They don't really go into details how, because they don't know how this virus truly works. So based off that, it's just, the thing is, it sheds time to time, and as years go on, it starts to decrease, but it still happens, but we just don't know when. So that's the risk that your partner has to take, and you kind of got to explain to your partner when you having sex with them. Okay? Have you ever looked into that? Okay, I did look into that a little bit, but my whole thing is, I got to try stuff for myself. My whole thing is, it's so crazy because I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days or whatever. Everybody's like, oh, is it a cure, blah, 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 blah. Y'all know me. I'm not really tripping about the cure at this given moment. My whole goal was to do this is to support you guys with the mental and the social, because that is the biggest issue. Because honestly, if we get a cure, great. I really want us all to get a cure. I'm not saying like I don't want to be cured, but at the end of the day, our biggest issue was our mental state and our social status to a certain extent. So that was my whole goal of helping you guys get over that. But I am going to take the initiative to try some of these things, and I'm going to be honest with you and tell you the truth on those. So within the next couple of months, going into the new year, I'm going to try a lot of these things for you guys and keep it documented so you guys can know the truth, because I see a lot of stuff out here. I know people who have tried stuff. A lot of the ladies that I talked to personally have tried things and it did not work. I'm being honest, it did not work, and they got ripped off, or it worked for a short period of time, or it just caused them not to have as many outbreaks. Okay. Okay, I will. I'm going to document it on here, so don't think I won't tell y'all. I will keep it very, very honest with y'all. If you have herpes and you get pregnant, it's possible to pass it to your baby. Yes, it is possible to pass it to your baby. If you have herpes now and you get pregnant, the only thing they're going to do is say, hey, do you have any STDs? And you were like, yeah, I have herpes. They say, okay, no biggie. When you get to 36 weeks, we're going to ask you to take Valtrex just to reduce your chances of having an outbreak. If you, quote unquote, have an outbreak during your labor, that means you're going to full-blown labor, the baby about to come out, they're going to check you multiple times anyway. Nobody in the room, they got to know you got a herpes. When they talk to you anyway, they're going to always make sure the people walk out the room only if you want them to know. And they're going to check you really good. They're like, oh, do you think you're having an outbreak? And you check them, and they're going to also look. If not, then you go right ahead and you have labor. I had vaginal deliveries with both of my kids. No problems at all. If you are having an outbreak, then you have to get a C-section. Now, my thing is, if you're too scared, you don't want to take the risk at all, or you're just, hyperventilating a bit, just tell your doctor you want to get a C-section, and they won't have a problem with it, okay? But it's not necessary. And only a pass to your, honestly, it will not pass to your child at all. You know, because at the end of the day, the doctor's not going to take their risk knowing that's in your chart. Yes, I don't do pills. 1 second, sweetie. Okay? Instead of pills, yeah, I don't do the Valtrex. I don't like it. I don't like pills. I'm just not gonna lie. I don't like pills. And honestly, the thing about it is, I mean, if I would take them now, but I have no reason to take them now. Plus, I'm very honest with my partners. I kind of know my body better than I did before. So, I had to find another route because back then, when I first found out, I couldn't swallow pills. I couldn't swallow pills at all. So that was the main reason why I did not take pills and I didn't like pills. But the main reason because I couldn't swallow pills at the time. So I had to find another route. I had to find another route. But the tea tree oil and the coconut oil is the truth. It's the truth. Like, it'll stop the itching. The tea tree oil will help with the healing. You know, because tea tree oil dries things out and help speed up healing. Okay? Now, that's the main reason. 1 second, sweetie. I gotta put my phone on charger. I don't want my phone to die. Do y'all have any more questions? Concerns? Going in the house for a second. Y'all see I'm starting to sweat. So, yeah. But that's the main thing. As y'all may seen, the title, if anybody's coming in late, was I have the Usher. So at the end of the day, I really do have herpes. I have a lot of people ask me that question all the time. Do you have herpes? Yes, I have herpes. I have had herpes for 8 years. As many as y'all knew, I was married, quote unquote, guys, was married. I'm in the process of getting divorced now. I keep it real with you guys. It has nothing to do with herpes at all. And we was in a relationship for a while. So with that being said, you can have a relationship. I had 2 kids, both of my kids, 2 boys. Both of my kids came out vaginal. Fine. And from what I know of, I have not passed this to anybody. Okay? Check y'all question out. So is it good to take a multivitamin? Absolutely. It's just good to take a multivitamin, period, because it helps keep your immune system up. As we know, it's good to keep our immune system up. Oh, that's another thing. Another trigger for you. If your immune system is shot, that means, and honestly, your immune system is down because you probably have other issues, health issues, and another thing, you're just not eating healthy. My whole thing is a multivitamin help you keep your immune system up and also give you the things that you do not have, okay? So that's good. Like, a lot of y'all always ask me, what about those greens that you used to talk about all the time? The greens is a multivitamin. It's just in powder form and you put it in juice or water or whatever. You know, everybody don't like pills. Everybody can't swallow pills. So with that being said, that's a powder form. If you want the greens, let me know. Just email me at overcomingthestigma@gmail.com and I'll get you the information to get that. Okay? Yeah, you can eat it. Go wash your hands. Put that down. Wash your hands first. Wash your hands. What? It's not going to break, sweetie. It's not going to break. Okay. So next question. It's not going to break, silly. It's not going to break. It's already broken. It's already cooked. What do you mean? Can you have a healthy self-life? Absolutely. I have 2 kids. I was married. I had sex a lot. Outside, before I even met my husband, I was having sex with no problems, and my partners knew, and there was no problem. It's all about you. It's not the fact of you can't have healthy sex. It's the fact that do you believe you can have healthy sex and how you protect yourself and protect your partner. It's all about communication. After you disclose to your partner, you have to have a serious question like, hey, what do you want to do to protect us? Do you want me to take the Valtrex? Is that what we want to do? Are we going to use protection? Blah, 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 blah. And y'all make that decision there. And also talk about what if the other partner gets it? How would they feel? What would y'all do? Things of that nature. Because it could still happen even if you do everything. It's the same way. You can still get pregnant using a condom. You can still get pregnant using birth control. Especially if you're not using it properly. So my whole thing is very important. Or defect. He trying to correct me. I said it wrong. It's not defect. A defect. Whatever. Y'all know what I meant. My son tried to correct me. That's the funny part. Thank you for your time. Oh, anytime, sweetie. Here. Is general herpes bad? Herpes is just herpes. It's nothing badder than other. I want to kill that stigma too, thinking that type 1 oral herpes It's better than having genital herpes. Herpes is herpes. My whole thing is, it doesn't matter what herpes you have, you're still going to have the mental strain and the social strain like everybody else. So my whole thing is, don't think, oh, I have this one, it's worse than the other one. No. It's some people who have oral and they get more outbreaks than a person who have genital. Or somebody who have genital have more than up there. And it may not hurt for everybody. So my whole thing is, that's not completely true. It's not completely true. It's just you for you. If you think it's bad, it's because of your experiences you're dealing with. Okay? Thank you, because when I found you on YouTube. You're a blessing. Oh, awesome, sweetie. Awesome. I'm happy that you can find me. That's the main reason why I did this, so you guys have an outlet and have somebody who's going to tell the truth and who really have it. Most people are not really talking about herpes and have it. And at that, you need somebody with color, not trying to knock it. I talked to a lot of the amazing YouTubers on here that I'm going to be looking to do business with very, very soon and doing interviews with who have herpes as well. But I was ready to see somebody who looks like me. I want to see an African-American woman talking about herpes. So that's why I decided to do it, because it was a need. It was a heavy need. You have helped me in a great deal. Girl, you can have this confidence. This confidence didn't come out the wall. I want y'all to know, and I'm going to stress this to you. My confidence just not come out of the sky. It did not come out the sky. It was a long period. I was suffering with low confidence for a long time, way before I even had herpes. And it took a hit even harder for me when I got it. So with that being said, I want you guys to know how I got my confidence back is I just started loving me. It's telling myself that at the end of the day, if nobody else loved me, I got to do it. Because at the end of the day, I got to look at myself in the mirror and I got to feel a certain way about myself. Baby, get a bowl. Get a bowl. And I didn't want to feel miserable about myself. I didn't want to look for validation from people all the time. And a lot of us are looking for validation that I'm okay and, you know, life is going to be fine. No, validate yourself to say everything's going to be fine, because only you are going to be the reason why you get a man. It's only you because you're going to get married. It's only you because you're going to have kids. It's only you because you go out here and get what you want. That means you go out here and find somebody who's willing to accept it. Okay? Nobody else going to do it. Don't. That's it. That's it. And don't make a mess, sweetie pie. Clean up your mess. Thank you. But if you need to talk to me, love, send me an email, okay? That's overcomingthestigma@gmail.com. Or you can set up a session with me if you want to talk on the phone. Especially if you haven't talked to anybody about this. I know a lot of you guys have not talked to anybody or even told anybody that you have herpes. The only person who knows is the person you thought who gave it to her, or the person who gave it to you, and your doctor. If you need to talk, make sure you set up a session with me, overcoming session. 45 minutes on the phone. If you live in another country, face to face, we'll do a Zoom so we can see each other. Or if we got iPhone, we'll iPhone each other or something like that. We'll do FaceTime, and that's for $35. If you're a student, I love my students, for 30 minutes for $15. You must have a student ID to receive that, to sign up. But if you just have a basic question, it's nothing wrong with that. Send me an email at overcomingthestigma@gmail. Okay? Okay, good. You better understand. Great, great, great. No, that's not true. Their outbreaks has nothing to do with your outbreaks. Your outbreaks is because of you, and their outbreaks are because of them. So my whole thing is whatever triggering their outbreaks to be like that is their outbreaks. My whole thing is how it comes out your body. Really, it's just how it comes out your body. Some people is worse than others, so that's not going to make yours worse at all. What your outbreaks are is what your outbreaks are. So I don't want you to think, oh, it's like having a cold. If I'm around somebody who cold is worse than mine, will my cold get worse? No. My cold is my cold. You know what I mean? So I don't want you to think just because you're with a partner who has herpes as well, if theirs bad, you're going to be bad. Nope. It has nothing to do with you. Yours is going to be yours. Okay? Anybody got any more questions? Anytime, sweetie. Anytime. Anytime. I'm trying to go back and see if I missed any questions. Any questions? Any questions? Last thing I want to talk about this whole Usher thing. This is my last key here, because a lot of people here, who follow me, y'all, most of y'all have herpes, or you know somebody who have herpes, okay? Be careful because you can. I stated that in the beginning. Thank you, sweetie, for saying that, telling people that again. Yes, you can transmit it to other parts of your body, okay? You can if you are not being completely safe, okay? So safe, let's talk about safe. That means when you're having an outbreak, make sure you wash your hands. That may sound so basic, but you need to wash your hands. Not with just water. That means wash your hands with soap, okay? Please wash your hands with soap. Wash your hands right after. At the end of the day, it's very important. You just wash your hands right after because the virus will not last long if you go ahead and wash your hands. One second, I'm going to get to you. So wash your hands. Wash your hands. Okay, that's number one. If you're going to put it on, that's really the thing. Wash your hands. I can't even tell you nothing. Wash your hands because that's the only reason why you spread it because you're not washing your hands. And if you have it on your face, don't use the same rag for other areas of your body. Wash your hands and use separate things for different parts of your body. I'm telling y'all, no, it does not transmit through towels and wash rags and cups and forks and all. No, but at the end of the day, guys, if you're using a towel and you directly where you had all of this goop and whatever you want to quote unquote call it, I'm only talking from the words that the world want to say that we're struggling with. And you put it on another part of you use it from your vagina to your anal or from your penis to your butt, then yeah, you can probably quickly move it there. But my whole thing, soap and water kills everything for us. This virus has to have a place. It got to have a host. The host is in our skin, in our nervous system. So my whole thing is I don't want y'all to think that, oh my God, it can leave on surfaces. No, my whole thing is just very important that you guys wash your hands when you are cleaning yourself. Wash your hands when you're wiping yourself. Just simple things, or simply just trying to medicate yourself. Make sure you just wash your hands. As long as you wash your hands, your chance of passing on to other parts of the body is very, very low. Okay? Very, very low. No. Get something to drink. Want a cup? There you go. Okay. Thank you so much for all your information. Yay! I want to come to Australia. I was just talking about coming to Fiji next year. So I email you that I'm a student. Okay, if you're a student, if you want to do a phone session with me, it'll only be $15 for 30 minutes. You can still email me, okay? If you just got a basic question, just email me. But if you want to talk to me over the phone, then make sure you just sign up with your student email, okay? After 9 years of being with someone, they haven't had any outbreaks. Yes, great. But does that mean that they don't have it? Did you get the person tested? If the person don't have it, they don't have it. You know what I mean? You can be with somebody and not transmit the virus over to them at all. So just in your mind, you're believing, how can they not have it? They just don't have it. The only way you can confirm that a person don't have something, you get them tested. That's it. How long can it lie dormant? As long as it lie dormant. I'm being honest. Like, if it's dormant, it's dormant. We won't know how long it's been lying there. We won't know. No way to say. No way to say. Hey, love, how are you? Is it normal to get an outbreak after sex? Yes, it's normal. That's the trigger for a lot of people. And you know why you're having that outbreak? It's because you're not having enough lubricant. Whoever you're with, you need to tell them to make sure you're completely ready. Or you need to add yes, you can make chocolate milk. Or you need to get a lubricant. Okay, and if you're using a condom, make sure it's water-based. Okay, water-based. Okay. I'm trying to make sure I got everybody questions. Okay.
Yes, you got everybody.
You think I got everybody? I still haven't found my triggers yet. It's annoying. Okay. My whole thing is, question is, how long you don't have herpes? That's the question. And another question is, are you having a lot of outbreaks? If you're not having a lot of outbreaks, you ain't gonna never know your triggers. You know, you're never gonna know your triggers if you're not having outbreaks like that. But tell me how long you don't had it, and do you get a lot of outbreaks? And then I'll answer you the best way I can. My doctor told me sex wouldn't trigger an outbreak. That's not true. It's not true. That's not true. It can trigger an outbreak. It happens all the time. It happens to me. It's because it's just the friction. when anything is dry, it's going to break it. You know what I mean? So if you don't have enough moisture and y'all are rubbing, especially if you got a condom on, it's going to make it dry. Also, just using condoms make women dry sometimes. So with that being said, you got to use a lot of lubricant to stay very, very lubed. So when he's going in and out, you know, you make sure everything is feeling right. To him, it may feel good. To you, it hurts. So make sure y'all are just using a lot of lubrication. Nope. Not having a lot now. Maybe when a rundown. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to your whole thing. What is the main triggers? Because you're really not really having any outbreaks. So my whole thing is the main triggers is number one, stress. Stress is number one. Okay, stress. After that is certain foods that you eat. That's fine. Certain foods that you eat. So it could be chocolate. It could be fast foods, junk food, drinking of alcohol, a lot of alcohol. Another one is your menstrual cycle. And then the last one is just friction from sex. Okay? And you got to just pay attention. My whole thing is you know them now. Now just pay attention to it. Just pay attention. Now, most of us know that we have an outbreak. So we're maybe having outbreaks. Like, what happened is because we're not paying attention to what happened before that. Or we simply don't know. And you probably just didn't know. That's all. It's okay, you're in good standing. You know now, girl. I got herpes in my butt. Doesn't mean that I can still. There's no issues there. Ha! That is a good question, girl. That is a good question. Okay. You got to understand, your butt and your vagina are right there. They too close. My whole thing, you can still easily, his penis can fall into your butt. Easily, especially if you're having an outbreak. So my whole thing is, yes, you can still have sex. Still have sex, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you got to also still be cautious because those areas are very, 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 very close. Okay?
Very, very.
Hush, honey.
What about
but no, it's not going to be transmitted through your vagina because my whole thing is, you got to understand, you're not transmitted from your vagina. You're transmitted where it is in your area. It's just the skin area that it's in. So my whole thing is, if you have it on your butt, that is where it is, you know. But if he makes a mistake and hit that area, or y'all are doing anal sex, then hey, yes, it can still happen. But you got to understand, you got to be very careful in that area because they're so close. They're so close. But no, transmission is because it's in a certain area. Not because he just went into your vagina. No, that's not saying he's just going to get herpes. No. Nothing about it's skin-to-skin contact. Skin-to-skin contact. So my whole thing is no. I say no. But at the end of the day, you got to understand that area is very, very close. It's very close. Okay? It's really too close for comfort. All right. 4 years, 7 months, every other. Good. Your husband has an awesome sauce. I'm happy that you talked about that because other people thinking that, you know, their partner's going to automatically get it. That's not the case. That's not the case. I was laughing about asking you this. Thank you for answering. Girl, anytime. Anytime. The bad part is I never had anal sex and it's in the craziest spot. It's because he had it on his penis somewhere or, you know, and it passed on. It just hit the area. My whole thing is, you got to understand those areas are so freaking close. And you know, dudes, they make a mistake and try to put it in the wrong hole. Oh, what you doing? You know, get it from there. Get it from there. That's not where it is. Not the right hole, okay? It is tight, but it ain't that one. Okay? All right. But don't ever feel silly for ever answering a question. You can ask whatever you want to ask. So people can only get it. No, you can get outbreaks. No, sweetie, stop asking me questions. And finish your chocolate milk and clean up your area because it's very filthy. Clean up your area and make sure to put your milk up. Okay. Put more milk in it. 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 You need to get a rag and clean that up. Your area is dirty. Do it now. Do it now. Put it in trash. Okay. Still being mom, y'all. So the person can only get it if you're having an outbreak at the time. Yes and no. My whole thing is an outbreak is with whatever your symptoms are and without. You got to understand shedding is real. You can pass it on to a person, but you got to understand shedding is an outbreak. You just don't know you're having it. Okay? Can you get it if you wipe yourself in the vagina? If you're wiping the wrong way, but I'm not saying that's not the case, it's skin-to-skin contact. It's skin-to-skin contact. It's skin-to-skin contact. That means your hand had to touch it and it moved to the other area. But my whole thing is, I don't believe that. It's skin-to-skin contact. My whole thing is, y'all don't understand. When it's in an area, it moves around a little bit. If it's in your genital, and it happened to me, I'm going to speak on it. It happened to me where it was in my genital area and then it moved to my butt area. And I'm looking like, weird. Excuse me. No. Put that back. You making a mess. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. And it moved to another area. And a lot of people are like, how do it move to another area? Hey, it does what it wants to do. Just like it just moved to where it wants to move. And it could have been simply, you know, me not properly cleaning myself or something like that. Because at the end of that, I use my hands. Like, I wash my body. I don't always like using a rag. I like soap. So I just be touching myself and stuff like that. So my whole thing is, at the end of the day, that could have simply happened that way. But I won't say wiping. I won't say wiping. Saying that it could happen, it could. But I'm not saying that's the case. I'm not saying that's the case. I don't want to freak everybody out thinking like, oh my God, I can't wipe myself. You ain't got no choice but to wipe your butt and wipe your thing. You just ain't got no choice. Okay? Love this. Yes, girl, I love that. Everybody know I try to keep it very, very open where you can ask questions and do things. And I hope we can keep it like this. That's why I waited so long to talk about the Usher thing, because at the end of the day, it was a lot of people saying some very, very mean things to people. And I did not want that to happen to you guys, because at the end of the day, y'all guys trust me. Y'all love me. I love y'all. And I would have had to cuss somebody out. And I ain't in the mood for all of that, because it's just too much stress. And I really want y'all to have the ability to ask questions, especially in front of people, because at the end of the day, y'all don't understand how much y'all are helping other people who are watching this. They're not talking, but they're just inspired that y'all are talking and y'all are saying things. Y'all are making a heck of a difference. You don't even know it, okay? I love you, and thank you for the encouraging word. Anytime, sweetie. I've been with my boyfriend for 10 years, and we still have sex with condoms. I'm ready to start a family, but he's still skeptical about catching herpes from me. What can I do? Honestly, you got to ask him what he's still scared of. If he's been with you for 10 years, what is he scared of? That is a real conversation you need to have with him, and ask him, what are you still scared of? You've been with me for 10 years. You could have been had it. And question is, have you been tested since he's been with you? Just because you use condoms don't make for sure. The thing about it, a condom only protects a man's penis. It don't protect his pubic hairs, his balls. It don't protect none of that. So my thing is, when the last time he been tested? And you need to also ask him, what is he still scared of? No, Valtrex do not take outbreaks away. They do not. That is not true. They do not take outbreaks away. What they do is they say they're supposed to help reduce them. But if your triggers are out of the water, which your triggers, which we talked about earlier, if you are triggering yourself time after time after time, you're going to have outbreaks time after time after time after time. How long the average outbreak calls? That varies person to person. Some people outbreaks last a week. Some people last 2 weeks. It depends. It all depends on you, because if you're in an outbreak and you're still adding to your triggers, or your triggers are still triggering, then it's gonna last longer. And then it all depends on, are you using anything, or it depends on how you're healing. Everybody is completely different. So many things taken to account for it. For me, I'll say it'll take about almost a week to heal. Now, if I catch it early, I can heal it up in about 5 days. But it just, everybody's body heals differently. This may be a really question, maybe you just me, but I get discharged more than normal when having outbreaks. Is that normal? Sometimes it doesn't smell. Okay, a lot of people get this. You got to understand, we're women. As women, we get discharged, okay? And it varies when we get discharged. We got to understand, just because you have herpes doesn't mean that you're always having an outbreak. You can be having a bacterial vaginosis. And you got to also understand bacterial vaginosis or yeast infection. Well, typically, we don't get as many yeast infections as we think. Most of the time, it's bacterial vaginosis. And your pH is just off. And like I was telling everybody earlier, your pH is off because of your diet, it depends on what underwear you're wearing, how you're wiping, all these other things. So you got to completely understand. It may not be the herpes at all. You could simply be having bacterial vaginosis. So my whole thing is, it's different medicine out there that you could take for bacterial vaginosis. Go on Amazon and just look it up, that you can take every day to help you. So soon as you feel like you have that little funny smell, which I know what you're talking about, then you can go ahead and take that and it'll knock that off. Or you can simply do apple cider vinegar and a little tea tree oil in your water, and it'll kill that smell, boo. It'll kill it. Okay. I learned that on my own, and I researched to make sure I was doing the right thing, but I learned that on my own too. He has been tested only once since we have been together. Go get him tested again. Because I'm not saying this to scare you. He may already have it. Y'all been together for 10 years. He could have been caught it from you. Honestly, I don't think he wants to know that he has it, because he could have been had it from you, but he don't want to know. So my whole thing is, if he's going to be with you and he's been with you for 10 years, why haven't you accepted the fact that he could have got it from you? And if he get it from you, it's not the end of the world. You are still the woman that you are now. You have still been there for him. You still loving on him. You're still providing. You're still doing everything he wants you to do. So why him catching this is going to be the end of the world? It's not the end. And me and you, if you want to talk more privately, we can talk privately. Like I was saying, anybody who want to talk privately, I think me and you need to just talk more in detail. I need more and more and more of your story. And I don't want to talk about a lot of stuff of your story on here. But hit me up on overcomingthestigma.com. Or most importantly, I would love to talk to you over the phone. Set up an overcoming session with me, 45 minutes over the phone, FaceTime, video chat if you're in another country. $35 if you're a student, 30 minutes for $15. You must have a student email. But I really want to talk to you a little bit more, because I need to know more detail. The fact that y'all been together for 10 years and he's still scared, that's a concern for me. That's a concern. I'm new to this and I feel fine like normal. That's good. That's absolutely good. No need to feel bad. That's good, boo. That is good. Good. Give it a try, and later on, let me know how that works. But most importantly, you can find something on Amazon. I heard a doctor talking about it, but I can't remember the name of the, not a doctor, but a young lady who talks about women vaginal health. And she talked about it, and she says a really good product you can find on Amazon for a really good price. And it's a pill you can take. If a woman is in a relationship with a man and only him, and she start itching, is it more than like she caught it from him right? No. Just because you start itching with that person doesn't guarantee that you have it from him. You could have been had it, and then this just triggering it. You never know what's triggering it. Not him, but it's the fact that right now you're with a new person. That doesn't mean anything. That happened to me. I had sex with this guy. Later, like a week after, he was telling me that he had herpes. I ended up getting tested. It said I did not have herpes. 6 months down the line, had sex with a new guy, whatever, and I had an outbreak literally right after we had sex. Then, we had sex at 12 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock in the morning. I had an outbreak. Did I think he gave it to me? Absolutely, I thought he gave it to me. But at the end of the day, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. I believe it was a guy before that, but I could have got it. I could have been had it. I could have got it, gave it to the dude for all I know. But when I got tested, they said I didn't have it, But at the end of the day, no, that's not true. Have you ever been tested for herpes before here? That's a good question. Thanks. I will hit you up on overcoming the stigma at gmail.com, or most importantly, just anybody who wants to do a session with me, it's going to be bit/I have it, all capital letters. If you want to have a session, capital letters, I have it, okay? If you forget that, don't feel bad. Go to one of my other videos and it's on there, okay? I think you're doing this live stream about such a great person. Yes, love. Yes. I love the lives. So y'all can see my personality. I'm still having itchy in there. Okay. Thing about it is, it's your butt. Okay, something about your butt. Well, it itch, and when it itch bad. So my whole thing is with that, since the tea tree oil is not really working for you. If it's not working for you, try AD ointment. Try AD ointment and see if it changed. Try the AD ointment. Oh wow, are you having another bit? So it's so funny, guys. We're going to New Orleans for the overcoming weekend. We're going to New Orleans in October. It's so crazy because I kind of just opened it back up for guys to go ahead and pay. It's only $375. You get a hotel, and we're going to do some events. Oh, it's really going to be like a girls trip. We're really just going to have a good time and talk, and drink and party. So my whole thing, if you really want to go to that, you will have to pay the $375 by the end of this month. I've been talking about by the beginning of the month, but guys, beginning of the year, like in May, but a lot was going on. So I'm sorry, since I didn't really get a chance to talk to you guys a lot about it here. If you still want to go, let me know. Shoot me an email, overcomingstigma@gmail.com, okay? But I want to start to have another meet and greets here in Atlanta, so we can just go out and do different things, guys. Just, go to the movies, go out to eat, go bowling, things like that. So doctors say not much I can do every time I ask them to check my... Yeah, just try the AD ointment. Try that. They really can't do anything, sweetie. They're not lying to you. They really can't do anything. So I understand you're not saying your booty down, your booty stink, or you're not wiping. No, you can just be having a lot of outbreaks there. But most importantly, I need you to figure out your triggers, because if you're itching all the time, you're having outbreaks all the time. You need to learn your triggers. I applaud you for doing this. A lot of people wouldn't, because they're ashamed. Girl, I know. I've been there. But I don't care what nobody think no more. Because at the end of the day, look how many people have commented. Look how many people who are on here. We had a max of like almost 40 people come on here. And that's a good thing. I've been on here for an hour, and so many people ask questions. Look how many people who is confident to ask a question. That's most important. I don't care about nothing else. Don't think I don't get, I used to get shamed and called a hoe and nasty and all that stuff. I don't really get that as much anymore because I'm so consistent now. And people are kind of used to seeing me now. So they're like, whatever, the black chick is going to talk about herpes. She got herpes. She nasty, whatever. But then they be in my inbox asking me questions. So at the end of the day, guys, I'm not really concerned about the shame anymore. I was ashamed for 7 years. I didn't tell my mom at all. I came out on Facebook and Instagram, and then my mom seen it, and we had an argument. So my whole thing is like, I just got sick of the shame. I was like, at the end of the day, this is a need. We need to talk about this. People really need help. So with that being said, let me help people. Anybody got any more questions? I'll take 2 more questions, and then I have to go get my little one from school. He's at daycare. He's up the street. Good. Thank you, love. Thank you. This is the first time I have spoke about this to anyone. It feels so good. Yay! I'm so proud of you. And look at you. You did it in front of all these people. I'm proud of you, boo.
Mommy, I can't pull my pants up.
Boy, if you don't get out of here with that,
I don't know how to.
goodbye. Go take them off. Bye. My son tied his things too tight and in here talking about he can't pull his pants up. 7 years old, talking about he can't pull up his pants. Stop doing that whistle, boy. And come get this milk. You ain't clean up. You did not clean up. Come get this milk and put your chocolate milk back in the refrigerator and clean up. Okay. When do you tell a guy you're dating that you haven't? That is a really good one. And I have talked about that in another video, so I will really stress that you go look at the other video, because I do have to go. And that one was way more into detail of when to tell a guy. And I really want to talk to you guys about that anyway, because at the end of the day, y'all know I'm ending my marriage. So with that being said, I want to talk to you guys about how you go back after a relationship. And I want to talk about that probably, if not tomorrow, the day after, and we're going to have a live on there so y'all can ask a lot of questions. So my whole thing is go over to the other video, check that out of how to tell your partner, and then try to come back on when you see me once again. Stop. Wipe that off. And we're going to go way more into detail, okay? That's just a conversation that's more than me telling you one thing, because there's way more to it. I can't wait until they have you on the TV. Yes, I'm going to be on TV, girl. You already know it. Girl, I always get my baby. What? The only way that you can break from not catching it is knowing your partner. Your partner has to know their body so well. They can take the Valtrex just to reduce it, but at the end of the day, nothing's guaranteed not you catching it. You got to accept the fact that if I catch it, my partner have done everything they can do to protect me. That's pretty much it. Yeah, it was my first time talking to someone about this. Also, it made me feel good. Thank you. Yay! I'm so proud of you guys. Y'all don't even know. That made me feel so good inside, that y'all guys felt so good. I am so happy that everybody came on here and y'all was so respectful. So I want to tell each and every one of you guys, I appreciate you to come on here. Y'all felt comfortable. Nobody was nagging. Nobody was rude. Nobody was nasty to each other. That we were really here for each other and things like that. And we got to continue to do this, because at the end of the day, we have to strengthen our community. So now we can do more of these. And then when we have the opportunity to speak up and speak on something, that we're not going to be so intimidated to speak, because we know for a fact that we can have conversations without people being nasty and mean all the time, okay? So nice to see that people are all going through the same thing and can help them. Yeah, it's no help at all, because we don't talk about this community. We are the reason why this stigma is continuing to go on, because in our community we fail to want to talk about it. And I said, I'm sick of that. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. We're going to sit here and we're going to talk about this, and we're going to be honest, and we're going to really support each other through this, because you're not the only one. Our men are going through it. Women going through it. Children. I talk to kids who are 13, 14 years old dealing with. I deal with people who are 12. Weird.
Yes.
Social media. Find me and ask me about things. So my whole thing is, at the end of the day, guys, you're not the only one. Some people they got this at being little, you know, getting oral from, you know, somebody kissing them or whatever, and they got it, you know, but now they're saying, oh my God, you know, this is going to affect me for the rest of my life. So my whole thing is, we're here for each other, okay? Thanks, Lo. We appreciate you so much. I appreciate you. Appreciate you too. All right, guys, I love y'all so much. So much. Just know I want to come back on here. I just had to get this. Turn the water off, sweetie. Turn the water off. You have to just know that I'm going to come back on here later this week, and we're going to talk about dating after whoever you were with, because a lot of you guys found this out in a relationship, or found this out messing with somebody, and found that that person did not give it to you, and now you're thinking like, oh my God, they didn't give it to me, or oh my God, they gave it to me, do I stay? Oh my God, they accepted me. Excuse me, you're being wasteful. Get that up, throw it away, and then go blow your nose, and put this cheese up in the refrigerator. I shouldn't have to tell you to clean. You know how to clean up. And we're going to talk about that, because a lot of you guys think that you have to stay in relationships. You do not have to stay with somebody just because they quote unquote gave you herpes and they're being nasty to you. I'm going to tell you that just because you have herpes and just because that dude accepts you don't mean he won't treat you like crap, and God's on your side. That don't mean she won't treat you like crap, cheat on you and everything. And that's not a reason why they're doing it. They're doing it because they just don't respect you. Okay. Half the time it got nothing to do with herpes. They just don't respect you at all. And I want y'all to understand, you do not have to settle for BS, just like I did. I was settling for some things and trying to work things out, and it was not worth it. It wasn't worth it. And I left. I'm done, you know. I love my partner dearly. You know, we're not together. I love him dearly, but I just want to stay no more. I was over it. And I want to teach y'all that it's important to make your mind up and don't let nobody do you any type of way and think it's okay. It's not okay. I'm not telling you to jump off the cliff the first time it happens, but I'm telling you, over a period of time, you can't let somebody continue to beat you down and treat you like crap. It's just not right. Next time I want to come on, I'll come on Wednesday. I'll come on Wednesday, okay? I'll come on Wednesday. What time is it? My son got to go to karate that day. Okay. I'll come on Wednesday. I won't tell you what time because I'm not sure. My kid is pretty busy that day with karate and schoolwork and stuff like that. We kind of just had a chill day today. But I will come on Wednesday and we'll talk about dating after, or should I stay from who gave it to me. Because a lot of you guys are staying in some bad relationships and it's not worth it. Thank you for having a good evening. Thank you. Yes, you're right. People are in denial. Nobody got time for that. We don't got time for this denial thing. We ain't got time for that. We got to get about that denial. Because at the end of the day, you being in denial, number one, is putting you in emotional, physically, and spiritual risk. At all times, being in denial. Nobody got time.
The dog is going to the garden.
Okay, baby. It's no biggie. So, that's the case. We got to get over this denial. And that's why we got to talk more and be honest and things like that. Because as you can see, so many ladies on here had never talked about it. And that can cause denial because you're like, oh my God, I don't think it's not that. Or you just kind of talk yourself out of dealing with what you're dealing with because you don't talk to nobody. Nah, get over it. You got to talk. You got to heal. He said, we got the Ushers. You're so stupid. Okay, so I love you guys. I'll talk to y'all later. I am so proud of y'all. I'm so happy that my platform has given y'all the ability to come somewhere and be honest and open. Y'all just don't know how big this is going to be. So many people came on here and talked. Have y'all realized y'all are talking to millions of people? I have over 1 million views, guys. And y'all are talking to millions of people. Y'all have just let a million people know that I'm not the only one. And I'm proud of y'all for that. Because you didn't have to do it. You could have been scared and you could have been ashamed. So I want to say it's not about me. It's about you. And I'm super proud of you. So I love you guys. And I'll see you guys Wednesday. We're going to talk about, like I said, we're going to talk about dating after the person you found out from, or the person who gave it to you, dating after them. Or do I stay? You know, we're going to talk about that. See you Wednesday. That sounds scary. I can't believe I did that. Hey, we all do it. We all do it. I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye. Girl, you better talk. Yes, I am. Thank you. I appreciate it. Talk to you soon.